Hello, hello. We're in Texas. We're in El Paso.
Texas.
There's mountains here. Who knew? We just got off our third flight. We're heading to our hotel in El Paso, and then tomorrow we'll drive to Lordsburg. We've got a brand new Mazda. What is it, 3?
Mazda 3.
2026. It's got only 2,000 miles on it, but we cannot figure out the Bluetooth. It's very annoying, but we're gonna work on that. But long day. It wasn't like extra tiring, but we're both ready to go to the hotel and just kind of chill out. Good morning. The day before I get on the trail, we're leaving the Hampton Inn. Gonna run a couple of errands. Have to pick up propane. Have to get everything organized, but we're loading up our little Mazda 3 here, and we're gonna make our way towards Lordsburg. All right, so we made it to Lordsburg, New Mexico. We're at the Hampton Inn, just getting all of my gear out of the car, and we'll get it all organized inside. It was hot on the drive here, but it's actually not too bad in town here. There's a nice little breeze, so we like that. And we're on the highway. We did pass a sign for the Continental Divide.
We did. I wasn't fast enough.
So I guess I'll be walking near there at some point in the next few days.
Vehicles.
Oh, hey, there's the mom.
Hey.
Hey, we made it.
Yeah.
All right, we just got dropped off in Mexico.
Yeah, it looks nothing like the videos that
All right, we just got dropped off at the border. A lot of construction going on here, and back in the desert, 2026. All right, we're just getting started. Working on our first mile on the CDT. Pretty amazing views. It is heating up to around the low 80s, but then it'll cool down to the high 50s tonight. So it's gonna keep on trucking. Had a nice big group get dropped off. We had 4 in one vehicle and I think 7 in the other. So 11 people today, starting. Very cool. All right, so I'm not quite sure yet, but may have a small hydration issue. No surprise there for Thirsty. Always having issues on the first day. So pulling my pack out of the truck, there was a puddle of water in the truck bed. Didn't think much of it. And then as I'm sipping water on the first mile, I'm losing water, so that may have been me who leaked all over the place. I don't know how that happened, but it's bouncing around in the back of the truck on a bumpy dirt road. So lucky for me, there is a water cache coming up, primarily for southbounders that I'll take advantage of. I mean, there aren't any real southbounders right now anyway, and I gotta have water. So one of those things. you can't plan for little mishaps. All right, so the trail is following like a old dirt road right now. Good news, my hydration bladder didn't fail. I just had a kink in the hose, so plenty of water. All right, we're about 4.5 miles in, and we're just following this dirt road. And you can see maybe way up in ahead there, a couple of hikers. So that's where we're headed. Oh man, so look at the view going back south. Wow, just amazing out here. Really lucky today. It is hot, but we've got a nice cloud cover. It would be probably 10, 15 degrees warmer if that sun was baking on us, so very fortunate. I do have like a little hot spot developing on my right foot between my big toe and whatever the next one is called. I usually don't have any issues with my feet. I'm thinking maybe just because I'm going probably a lot faster than I normally would on the first day, just because the trail's kind of cruisy. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that. Already took a quick break to just let them air out for a quick minute, but somewhere soon, take another longer break. I haven't eaten anything yet. I'll force myself to down the Cliff Bar and just keep hydrating. The first goal is the water cache at almost mile 14. So that's where I'm sure every one of us that were dropped off the shuttle are headed, at least. And then there were 2 other hikers we passed that got their own ride. So that's where we're at right now. Back on a through hike. Feels good. We're about 6.5 miles in. Gonna take my first real break here. Air out the feet, eat a Cliff Bar, and then keep moving. So far so good. All right, it's around 12:30. I'm switching to like taking a break every hour, so I'm about ready for a break, but it's overcast, which is nice, or else I'd stop here at this tree, one of the few trees I've seen, but we got a bit of climbing to do around this hill, so I think I'll get that out of the way and then look for a spot to just take a quick breather. I don't know how, but somehow I'm now first of the pack, so that's certainly not going to last long, but I'm certainly not used to that, especially after the PCT. I was always bringing up the rear, so feel pretty good, but I don't want to push too hard. So right now, feeling good, and about 3.5 hours into the day. So we're looking forward to another break soon. So not surprising, there has not been a hint of water anywhere. But I guess one interesting thing is our guy who from the CDT who drove us in said there's been some unusual, more than average rainfall in these parts the last couple of weeks. He said the desert is much greener than it usually is this time of year, and yeah, there's a lot of green. So that's nice. Seeing some different desert wildflowers. I have no idea what they are, but they look nice. And I think once we get over this next little lift here, it's time for a break. All right, so it's close to 2:30. So this is the actual trail, but for whatever reason, the first water cache is on this dirt wash. So we're gonna stay on this for another 1/4 mile and then load up on a bunch of water, take a nice long break, and figure out how far we think we want to go today. Water, dead ahead, right there. Yeah. All right, so water chores are done. I'm gonna make a little electrolytes rest for about 10 minutes and then continue on the trail. See if anyone shows up before I take off. They also have a little logbook here. They ask all of us to sign in just so they kind of can keep track of us if there's any issues in this area, so do that. All right, so I just signed in and I see there's a celebrity a day ahead of me. She's got a channel on YouTube, Hiking Dancer, so maybe I'll bump into her at some point. But yeah, class of 2026 only has a few pages on it, but we're getting right into the season, so here we go. All right, just did a little bushwhack from the road down there where the water cache was. Came up here and now back on the red line. These little signposts now are going to designate the trail. So here we go. All right, so I'm about 15.5 miles into the day. It's getting close to 4, I think. I'm getting a few hot spots on my feet, so I don't really want to push much further. I've got 7 liters of water with me from the water cache. So there's a road like 1.5 miles from here. We got another little rise coming up, but I might go to the road, or if I see a nice little spot near the road, I think I'm gonna just grab that. I would have loved to do 20 miles today, but there's no reason to push and, you know, mess up my feet where they can't recover. It's a long journey, so if I have to move my hotel back a day in Lordsburg, it's better to do that than push too hard, especially the first couple of weeks. So that's where we're at. It's gorgeous out here. Not too sunny, which is nice. But yeah, my feet are telling me I need to stop soon. So we'll see how much further we can get. I'd like to do a little more climbing if I can. All right, it's 5:30. I think I'm done for the day. I found a flat enough spot. It's a bit rocky, but with the air mattress, it'll be fine. A little bit off trail. Just shy of 17 miles. So the sun just went in behind me, behind those clouds. It feels really nice now. So once I get the energy, I'll get camp set up. I feel like once I could put my head on the pillow and just conk out. Was up at like 4 today. And I've been up early the past couple days, just still on East Coast time. So hoping to get an early start tomorrow, be on the trail while it's still nice and cool out, and get most of the miles done. I did, unusual for me, have a total of 3 blisters, one on each big toe and one on one of the toes next to the big toe. So pop them and let that skin callus up, and then I should be fine. But yeah, I don't know. Wasn't really on actual trail until like the last couple of miles. It was more just road wash, and I don't know if that has something to do with it, but got to keep an eye on that. So I think that's going to do it. I'm pretty spent all of a sudden, so I got to acclimate to this desert heat. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Good evening from Orlando. I thought I would do a quick update. Brian is on the trail. I just got a message from him that he just got to his campsite, so that's great. It's just after 7 East Coast time, and right after I dropped Brian off for the shuttle this morning, I drove back to El Paso, and then I took a plane out to Orlando because I'm meeting my sister, her family, and my mom Tomorrow they fly in and we're going to be at Disney for the week. So my flights were pretty uneventful. One of our bags is very wet because it was raining in Houston, so that's just drying out. But overall, my travels went very well today, but I'm tired and looking forward to a fun week at Disney. So hopefully Brian had a good first day on the trail. It must have been long because he just finished hiking, but I'm sure it's warm, so he didn't want to finish too early and just be stuck in the sun. So I'll be interested to see his video.